be here at the disco. Let me tell you what happened to me the other day. At the Piggly, standing in line, feeling nervous, waiting my time. Then a large can fell from my coat, so I shouted before they took note. Who threw that ham at me? Who threw that ham at me? Hey, please, did anyone see? Who threw that ham at me?
I want to go home now, you idiot.
Okay, disco garbage can. Yeah, flip your lid. Disco garbage can. Flip your lid. Yeah, get down. Alright. Twirl. Everyone twirl. So I turned and walked away. Like later on I would go and pay. Then it happened when I stopped. A frozen bird fell with a plop.
My family is waiting for me.
A frozen bird fell with a plop. Who flung this turkey at me? Who flung this turkey at me? What's going on? Didn't you see? Someone threw a turkey at me. Yeah, disco garbage can, everybody. Yeah, flip your lid. Disco garbage can. Yeah, do the disco garbage can. Who threw that ham at me? Who threw that ham at me? Hey, didn't anybody see? Who threw that ham at me? Who threw that ham at me? Disco garbage can, everybody. Yeah, get down. Yeah, that's really great. Yeah, go for it, baby. Yeah, that's really great. Well, everybody, I've made my scene here at the disco tonight, so I'm going on to the next disco. Hopefully, I'll see you there.
Hey guys, Dave Darren here. Good to see some of you joining the show here. Just curious. By the way, don't forget the music show is going to start on April. It's going to be on a Wednesday. April, which is a Wednesday, the 29th of April. And we're going to do the show from 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. It's going to be a little tough for any Pacific bands that want to come on. But we'll see what we can work out with them. Maybe we'll do some pre-records. 5 p.m. Arizona, which is where I'm doing the show from right now, which is 7 p.m. Eastern time. So that's a good time, I think, for East Coast bands to come on a Wednesday night. And the main reason for that is because the promotion company I'm going to initially work with is in the UK, so it's going to be midnight UK time, but that's kind of cool. Rock Solid Talent Entertainment's going to throw a handle in helping to promote the show, as well as Impact PR. I remember when I was in New York City, I was working with those guys. Those guys brought you, Toto and Cutting Crew and Bad Company, so we're going to work with those guys again as well to really ramp the show up to be a really fun show with some really great rock music. It's going to focus mostly on original rock music, by the way. So if you have a band that you know, or you're in a band that really wants to promote you're going to want to promote the show, though, because I'm going to be promoting you. Rock Solid Talent Entertainment is going to be promoting you. Impact PR is going to be promoting you. If you don't promote the show to help out all of us collectively, you know what, I'm not going to have you guys on. So that's the way we got to do it from now on, because we're going to take a serious look at rock music and a serious attempt to bring up the success of rock music. I got to dye my hair before I do the show. When you dye your hair, maybe you have to use color-proof shampoo because the sides are now becoming gray again. I don't like that look. I haven't dressed yet. I haven't put my rings on. But my wife is sitting home getting ready to do her daily job too. She's at lunch right now as well as I am. And she's getting all these phone calls from one of her friends in Delaware, where we used to live at one point. Don't blame us for Joe Biden, by the way. Although he's from Delaware, do not blame us for that guy. He has felt up so many women in Delaware that probably it's a small population, Delaware, small state. I think second or third smallest, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Delaware. I think Delaware is third smallest state. I think he's felt up every woman in Delaware. So don't blame me here for him. But she's got a friend of hers, Aiko, another Japanese friend, who keeps calling her up, petrified about this coronavirus. And my wife's friend is from Japan. This is mainly something that's going on, of course, across the world. There's a case, I think, in Arizona. I forget if it's a confirmed case or not a confirmed case. It looks like I got corona because I got an allergy today, so this eye is red. I was not smoking weed before I came on to talk to you guys. Good to see Bernadette, by the way. But I'm curious how many of you guys are petrified about this coronavirus, like my wife's friend is. And let me show you this. I pulled up some video about this town that's in China that's devastated about this coronavirus. Watch this. It is really amazing. I'm going to make it large enough so you guys can see it full screen, first of all. And then I will play it. And you guys can see the devastation that this, at least this one area, has got with this coronavirus. So let me see if I can straighten this whole thing out.
Now arrived at the central business district. This area on a normal day would be absolutely packed with people. It's just after 8:30 in the morning, and this would be full of people rushing to work. There's a huge amount of offices around here. As you can see, there's almost no one around. Burger King would normally be full and busy of people getting their breakfast on the way to work. Starbucks would also be the same. In fact, this was my local Starbucks when I used to live in Gangsha for a short time. But you can see today, normally here there would be many people all sitting outside drinking their coffee, smoking. A lone security guard obviously waiting to check people in, check their temperature, some hand sanitizer. This really is incredible. It's just so deserted. In all the time I've been in China, I've never ever seen a city centre place so quiet. Just the odd people strolling around. There's a security guy just passing me here. There's a woman who's sweeping the water away just on my right hand side. I apologise for the quality of the video. It's absolutely thrown it down a rain, and also it seems that there's got some sort of condensation somehow in the lens, so that's why it's a little foggy. There's just hardly anyone around. These roads are normally way busier. In fact, on a normal working day, it would take us anywhere between an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe, to drive from Longgang to this particular area. And we would be bumped to bump in traffic on a lot of sections of the road. As you saw, there was virtually no traffic at all. We actually did it in just over half an hour, which is crazy.
Okay, guys, I just thought I'd show that for a bit. So if you're petrified about this coronavirus, you really don't know. When I did the show about UFOs, I was always trying to get the true story about UFOs. But the interesting thing is, of course, did I get? It looks like I had the Oh no, I think I'm all right. I forget. Sometimes I forget which audio button I got clicked. But you start to worry about when I did the UFO show, trying to get the reality of what UFOs are all about if there's UFOs on planet Earth, if they've ever visited planet Earth. It's hard to get the true story when we think that the government's holding back on us. So how do we really know if the government's holding back on us on this particular story as well? It's funny. Recently, I told you guys I was watching this TV program that's no longer being done. It's no longer a live TV show, but it was called The Last Ship. And it was an interesting thing because the whole story was based upon an initial virus that wiped out 90% of the world population. And that's what this whole Last Ship was all about. I just got finished watching about 3 or 4 months ago, actually 2 months ago, I think. And here we go with the coronavirus, which is impacting a decent amount of people. Now, hopefully it's not going to wipe out 90% of the population. If it does, I hope it starts with the trolls and the hecklers and then works its way to normal people. But you really don't know what's going on. And my wife's friend is like petrified about this coronavirus. And I haven't even been really watching the news feeds about it. But here I am. I just trickled today. I was on like Facebook and I clicked on it. There was a YouTube link with this guy walking around or driving around this city. And what was the name of the city? I don't even think he calls it. It's Shenzhen, Shenzhen, China. And he calls it now a ghost city. He had a lot of viewers on this, 46,000 viewers. And obviously there's people that are taking this pretty seriously. So I don't know what you guys think. I mean, with all of today's problems, now we got this big virus on top of it. Is this something you worry about? I'm kind of not worried about it at all. Not at all. I saw a news thread about it. I'm not a panicky type of guy. But we'll see what happens if it starts really invading the United States and we have to walk around with masks. Maybe we have to do that. I mean, my wife's out today. She's going out in a couple of minutes. She hasn't gone yet. I don't think she's going to be wearing a mask. I'm going to go out to a coffee shop. I'm not going to be wearing a mask either. But I was walking around in Arizona, and I did see some people with masks on. Now, I think they've got masks on because Arizona, our springtime is now. People with allergies, like me, that's why my eyes red. I'm walking around, and I was sneezing a couple days ago. Yesterday, I was sneezing a little bit. Today, I'm not sneezing at all, but I got like my eyes are red, so I got to put some eye drops in a couple of minutes. I should have done that before the show. But you start worrying about stuff, and you start to wonder if those people with the mask on or have the mask on because they're worried about the virus or the flu, which is predominant now as well. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what's going to happen with this virus. I'm curious, and I don't know, maybe some of you will watch this thread later and tell me if you're scared about the coronavirus, and maybe you'll respond and say absolutely not. It's kind of an overburdening thing where everyone's talking about it and it's not really as big a deal as they're trying to make it in the news media, because the news media, when they don't have a whole lot to report, they'll report on something and they will find something to report on. And they found this topic, coronavirus, and they're making it something to make their program watch, talking about news. It's a news topic. The more they hype it, the more they make it sensationalized, the more people will watch a news program. And so I don't know much about this, but we'll see what's going on. That's all I got to say for today, except we'll be back on April 29th in full force. It's a Wednesday night. We're going to be on 4 o'clock Pacific time, 7 o'clock Eastern time, 5 o'clock Arizona if you happen to be in the same state I'm in. And we're going to have some great rock bands on. We're going to start off with, I've got a couple people already booked up, and you can look them up if you want to. We're going to have Jessica Lynn on. She's going to be the first guest. In parallel to that, probably the same week, I'm going to have Jimmy Richardson on. He's a really cool dude, and you got to check him out because he's a major factor in the LA rock community. Then we're going to have Grady James on. He's a country musician. This genre of this show is going to be primarily rock music, sprinkled in with some, at one point I had Chic on during Disco Week in New York City. So it'll have that type of music on. It'll have country music. It'll have mostly, like I said, rock. Some classic rock bands sprinkled in. Like I said, I had on Toto, Cutting Crew, Bad Company at one point, Kool and the Gang from the disco era with Kool and the Gang. So it's going to be a multi-genre show focused mainly on bands working their way up to be mainstream, and this will be the threshold to help them with that. This is either going to be the show that rock bands need to come on because I'm going to be their threshold to getting to that next level. And if you don't support the show, you know what? I'm going to be a roadblock as well. To be successful in music, to bring music back to the way it was, I'm going to be your gateway or your toll gate to help or block you in your path to stardom. That's what this show is going to be all about. It's going to be the driving force in music. And that's what we're going to make it, because I've got a PR firm in the UK and a PR firm in New York City that's going to help this show really edge its way up to the success that it's got to be to make music again successful like it was when I played in the 70s and the 80s, when everything was really kicking some ass. That's all I got for today, guys. I will talk to you later on. Let me do the show closer. I'll see you guys. I'll be probably back on whenever I get in the mood to do it. And that's all I got for right now. Cheers, guys.
My oxygen is raining, blood that runs through me races so rapidly, tense my aggression. Retaliate, justify. Saw all the life from me. You take everything I need. You want everything.